Greetings, travelers. Welcome to our journey through time, uncovering the greatest moments of the human past. 1453. Constantinople's mighty walls finally shatter into a devastating sea of roaring fire. For 1,000 years, this mighty fortress shielded the Western world from every dark invasion, standing undefeated. Today, the last Roman emperor fights his final battle, as a terrifying weapon brings absolute destruction. How did a young sultan and a giant cannon destroy an eternal empire, rewriting the rules of warfare? Skies above the ancient capital burn a violent red, as a storm of falling ash chokes the ruined, bitter air. The legendary Theodosian walls, a massive shield of solid stone, now crumble into a pathetic heap of dust. For 10 centuries, these mighty defenses stood tall, defying every foreign army at their gates. Today, the deafening roar of gunpowder shatters that sacred myth, tearing massive holes through ancient Roman pride. Through broken stone, elite Janissary warriors pour into the dying city like a mighty flood. These highly disciplined soldiers strike without mercy, swiftly vanquishing the exhausted, desperate Christian guards. Crimson stains flow freely down the cobblestone streets, mixing with dark mud and the shattered remains of marble statues. Historical records state the Byzantine soldiers fought with the wild fury of men with nothing left to lose. Yet their worn-out armor and rusty shields are no match for the endless waves of the powerful Ottoman war machine. Amidst this chaos, Emperor Constantine XI realizes his glorious empire is taking its tragic final breath. He looks upon the burning ruins of his beloved home, a deep, crushing sorrow reflecting in his tear-filled eyes. Taking a final, deep breath, the proud ruler slowly strips away his purple silk cape and shining imperial crest. He refuses to be captured as a humiliated king, choosing instead to fall as an honorable fighting soldier. Gripping his sword, Constantine charges directly into the massive sea of roaring enemy infantry. His blade dances with deadly grace, vanquishing foes in a final, glorious display of pure defiance. But the endless Ottoman warriors are too overwhelming, pushing the brave emperor back into the shadows. The exact moment of his tragic fall remains lost to history, swallowed entirely by the madness of battle. With his tragic fall, the mighty Roman Empire, surviving for 2 millennia, finally collapses. Cries of the fallen echo through broken streets, a haunting requiem for a dying civilization. Facing absolute defeat, would you choose a glorious end or surrender to save your starving people? Fierce combat continues without mercy, painting the sacred churches and grand city squares in a deep crimson. Ottoman flags rise above the smoking ruins, signaling the dawn of a violent new global order. The shield of Western Christianity has been violently ripped apart by relentless technological progress. To understand this terrifying destruction, we must look back to the peaceful months before the fire started. We must travel back to a time when this golden city still believed it was completely safe from any earthly danger. Before the horrifying thunder of the great cannons, there was only the quiet shadow of an ambitious young ruler. A young man who looked at the impossible stone walls and saw only a magnificent puzzle waiting to be violently solved. Let us leave the burning ashes of May and return to the freezing, peaceful winter of 1452. The grand chessboard of history was already set, the pieces silently moving toward a catastrophic and tragic end. Now, witness the dark birth of the heavy weapon that would eventually destroy the European Middle Ages. Months earlier, the powerful city of Constantinople stood proud, untouched by the spreading fires of war. Its massive double walls and deep moats looked like a magical fortress built by giant gods not mortal men. Across the freezing waters of the Bosphorus Strait, a terrifying Ottoman military camp took shape. Thousands of tents stretched across the horizon, housing an endless army of fierce, seasoned soldiers. At the heart of this vast camp stood Sultan Mehmed II, a brilliant young leader with an iron will. Barely 21, Mehmed possessed a calculating mind and a burning hunger for absolute worldly glory. He spent countless sleepless nights staring across the dark water, obsessively studying the Roman defenses. The Sultan knew perfectly well that traditional siege weapons would fail miserably against this mighty stronghold. Wooden siege towers would be burned to ash, and standard catapults would simply bounce off the fixed stone blocks. To capture the ultimate prize of the world, Mehmed desperately needed a new kind of destructive magic. He needed a heavy weapon so powerful that it could shatter the very foundation of medieval defense. The young Sultan paced back and forth in his grand tent, his mind racing with impossible engineering dreams. His seasoned generals whispered in dark corners, quietly doubting if this legendary fortress could be conquered. They had seen many mighty armies fail before, leaving decaying bones beneath the high stone walls. But Mehmed was fiercely determined to achieve the impossible, spending his fortune to win the city. He sent secret messengers across the lands, desperately searching for anyone with gunpowder knowledge. The era of charging knights and brave swordsmen was rapidly ending, though very few men truly realized it. The future of global warfare belonged to those who could master the violent power of explosive weapons. As winter winds howled around his royal tent, Mehmed patiently waited for a technological miracle. Facing an unbreakable wall, would you give up? Or invent a terrifying new machine to tear it down? The answer to his desperate prayers did not come from a holy man, but from a pragmatic master engineer. Fate began to shift when a mysterious traveler walked into the Ottoman camp, carrying detailed blueprints. His arrival marked the exact moment when world power permanently shifted to the rising Eastern empires. The quiet winter was simply the calm before a catastrophic storm built on math, fire, and melting bronze. Mehmed's obsessive vision was finally taking a solid, terrifying physical form in a stranger's hands. The unbreakable stone shield of the Romans was about to meet the unstoppable force of the modern age. History was holding its breath, waiting for the devastating spark that would forever change the map of the known world. The Sultan gathered his brightest commanders, preparing them for a radical shift in battlefield tactics. He promised them endless riches and eternal glory, painting a vivid picture of the capital burning. The stage was perfectly set for the most dramatic and advanced military siege the ancient world had witnessed. Enter Orban, a brilliant and highly ambitious master engineer, traveling from the Kingdom of Hungary. This pragmatic man had first offered his talents to the desperate Byzantine Emperor. Constantinople's treasury was completely empty, unable to pay for his raw materials. Rejected by the empire, the hungry engineer took his dangerous secrets to the wealthy Ottoman camp. Mehmed welcomed Orban with open arms, granting the engineer a mountain of gold and unlimited resources. Deep inside the Foundries of Edirne, a terrifying industrial nightmare violently began. Hundreds of muscular blacksmiths worked day and night, feeding massive amounts of dark bronze into roaring fires. Extreme heat from giant furnaces blistered their skin as they poured rivers of molten metal into earthen molds. Orban supervised every dangerous step, his face covered in dark soot and dripping with salty sweat. After weeks of intense labor, the massive earthen mold was finally cracked open to reveal the giant beast. They proudly called it Basilica, a monster of dark bronze, stretching 27 feet into the smoky air. It was a technological marvel, designed to fire solid stone cannonballs weighing over 1,000 pounds. But casting the giant weapon was only the first challenge. Moving it was a logistical nightmare. A massive, reinforced wooden carriage was built to support the crushing weight of the giant bronze barrel. It took a team of 60 muscular oxen, straining with all their might to slowly drag the beast forward. The massive bronze weapon rolled across the harsh landscape, crushing rocks beneath its giant wooden wheels. Hundreds of workers marched tightly beside the dark beast, carefully preventing it from sliding in the mud. It took 2 painful months to transport this metal nightmare directly to the mighty gates of the Roman Empire. Mehmed watched with great pride as the giant weapon was firmly positioned to strike the ancient stone walls. The brutal clash between the fading ancient world and the explosive modern future was finally starting. On a cold April morning, the artillery crews began loading the massive bronze cannon with black powder. A solid stone sphere, weighing 1,000 pounds, was firmly pushed deep into the giant metal barrel. The Sultan raised his sword, looked at the distant Roman walls, and firmly ordered the deadly cannon strike. A blinding flash of orange light ripped through the morning fog, followed by an earth-shattering, violent roar. The huge recoil shook the ground, throwing a thick cloud of toxic white smoke high into the trembling sky. The heavy stone ball struck the ancient wall, creating a deeply terrifying and mighty loud crash. The impact was devastating. A massive chunk of the stone barrier instantly shattered to dust. Inside the walls, terrified citizens felt the shock, knowing their tragic doom was rapidly approaching. Emperor Constantine rushed to the damaged wall, staring in pure horror at the massive hole right before him. But Orban's brilliant weapon had a fatal flaw. The intense heat caused the heavy bronze to crack. Chronicles state the giant weapon had to be cooled with warm olive oil after every single shot. This extremely slow process meant the Ottomans could only fire the weapon a few times every day. During the freezing dark nights, the brave Roman citizens desperately rushed to repair the broken walls. They used timber, loose dirt, and church barrels to quickly plug the massive gaps before the next deadly sunrise. It was a truly tragic race between human courage and the destruction of the giant bronze cannon. For 50 long days, the cycle of heavy destruction and frantic midnight repairs simply continued. If you were the brilliant engineer Orban, would you build a weapon of doom just to gain endless gold? As the bombing continued, Roman defenders began to run dangerously low on fresh supplies. They watched in sheer terror as huge cracks appeared across the sacred stones of their beloved ancient city. Mehmed ordered his elite Janissary troops to prepare for the final, devastating ground assault. The thunder of the great cannon was joined by the deafening beat of thousands of Ottoman war drums. On May 29th, the ancient walls gave way, returning us to the chaos of our opening scene. As the tired emperor falls, the Sultan's dark vision slowly becomes a solid, new world reality. The fall of Constantinople is much more than just the tragic death of one powerful empire. The loud roar of the great cannon serves as the terrifying death bell for the European Middle Ages. Historians state that this fierce battle quickly rewrote the basic laws of all human combat forever. The era of brave knights hiding safely behind tall stone castles was finally completely over. From this dark day forward, raw, explosive power would dictate the rise and fall of all great nations. The thick smoke from the cannon drifted west, carrying a terrifying message to all of Europe. If the great Roman walls could easily fall, then absolutely no kingdom was ever truly safe. Deep panic quickly spread across the royal courts of Europe like a highly contagious, deadly disease. Vital land trade routes to the east were permanently blocked by the victorious Ottoman Empire. Needing spices, the European sailors were forced to look toward the dark, uncharted ocean waters. This violent explosion eventually sparked the famous global Age of Discovery. Bold explorers like Columbus would soon sail into the unknown, seeking a brand new path to India. The brutal destruction of one world directly fueled the glorious expansion of another one. Sultan Mehmed proudly rode his magnificent white horse through the shattered gates of the ruined city. He transformed the breathtaking Hagia Sophia into a truly beautiful, grand Islamic mosque. The Byzantine capital was completely reborn as Istanbul, the wealthy heart of the Ottomans. As for Orban, his final fate remains a deeply mysterious and dark historical tragedy. Some ancient records claim he was killed when one of his own massive bronze cannons violently exploded. Others suggest he survived, taking his wealth to vanish entirely from the pages of history. Regardless of his fate, the legacy of his dark weapon permanently altered the course of mankind. The mighty Roman Empire, surviving for over 1,000 years, was completely erased from the map. In its place stood the great Ottoman Empire, a dominant and highly cultured global superpower. The roaring cannons of 1453 did not simply destroy a heavily fortified wall. They quickly shattered the illusion of safety and permanently changed human civilization. We are still clearly living in the highly complex modern world that those explosive cannons forged. Every loud gunshot in modern war carries the haunting echo of the Great Siege of Constantinople. The clash between old traditions and new technology is a critical lesson we must never forget. History clearly proves that even the strongest walls will finally fall to relentless human progress. The bright flames of 1453 still burn today, illuminating the tragic pages of our time. The fall of Constantinople was the end of an era, but it sparked the global Age of Discovery. Do you think Orban was an inventor of progress, or a ruthless merchant of death? Tell us below. If you enjoyed this epic journey, please like this video, share it, and subscribe to our channel today.